Fear is simply the inability to make a promise to yourself. It kicks in when you start thinking about all the bad things that can happen to you on the way to your destination. And before long, you're thinking, wouldn't it be easier just to stay home? Isn't it safer to just stay in bed? Isn't it better to pull the covers up over my head?
The gym, as much as I hate it, gave me a lot of that. Pushing through those extra sets when it burns, to dig deep within yourself, to realize that you can push. And now, even thinking back, going back earlier than that.
Enough is enough. I didn't want to be like everybody else. I wanted to be the fucking best at everything I did.
It's literally only when we face failure that we realize these resources are always there within us. We only need to find them. To fulfill our destinies after life has beaten you and broken you into pieces. Resiliency is that gift and ability, it's the discipline to turn those pieces into a work of art. Many of you listening to me know what it's like to lose everything. You know what it's like to hit rock bottom. You know what it's like not to be supported. You know what it's like to be lied on. You know what it's like to experience emotional, relational, and psychological trauma. And it changes you because you don't know what you are made of until you have gone through something. You already know what failure feels like. You already know what it feels like to quit, to stop, to throw in the towel, to sit on the couch, to move, to add substance.
In this discussion, we've been using the metaphor of going across town in a car. Let me conclude by referring to another little excursion, and it's one that I know for a fact you have already taken. When you were learning how to walk, you made a silent promise to yourself that you were going to do it. It may have been scary at times. You surely stumbled again and again. Tears surely fell from your eyes, but no matter.
I was almost 200 pounds at the age of 15. In fact, I was 200 pounds. I was 198. I ran cross country. My thighs would rub together so much during a race that they would bleed. I would have bloody thighs at the end of a cross country race. For the first 3 years, well, I guess I'll give you the full story. Year number 1 of cross country, my sister's friend was on the team, and she was 3 years older than me. And I had a crush on her. And I was 6 foot almost at that point, 200 pounds.
You didn't even think about that. Each time you fell, you forgot about it as soon as you regained your feet because you had promised yourself you were going to walk across the room. And you did it. How long did it take? Who cares? You did it. At that point in your life, you had the strength of character to overcome fear and keep the promise you'd made to yourself. Do you still have that strength? Whether you realize it or not, you do. When you were that little child we've been talking about, you asked yourself, how long am I going to work to realize my dream of walking across the room? And you instinctively answered, as long as it takes. Make that same promise to yourself right now. Making it takes strength of character. And as I've tried to show, strength of character is the foundation of achievement.
And built like a football player, but I hated football because it hurt. And she said, oh, you should run cross country. And I was like, yes, I should, because I want to be around you. And so I did cross country my first year. She graduated. I was like, this sucks. I was the slowest person in the league, not my high school, in the league. I was the slowest. We did a league match. I came in dead fucking last. So I was quite literally the slowest person in the league. She leaves. I'm like, I am the fuck out. Peace. And then people on the team were like, no, man, you're super inspirational. You should stay. Because I would go to the end of the race and I would cheer people on. And I was like, oh man, it's somebody giving me positive feedback. All right, fuck it. I'll run again. So I end up running all 4 years. But the first 3 years, inside, I'm doing it just to be liked. I'm doing it because people are telling me that I'm inspirational.
You know what it's like to give everything that you have and push and persevere. If you're going to understand the program of resiliency, we are going to have to stop running from difficult times, stop praying that the storm will pass over you, and pray to grow through the storm. Stop going around it, go through it. What you go through, you will grow through. Some fights are not won in the first round flat out. The moment that you get that and you get crystal clear and you accept the fact that there are some giants that you will not defeat. In the first round, you need endurance, you need stamina to reach some goals. You're not going to hit the million with the first investment. You're not going to hit the home run. Always at first swing, but resiliency says, I belong here and I deserve another shot. I want my opportunity. Give me my opportunity. It's your reaction to adversity, not adversity itself, that determines how your life story will develop. Rock bottom is the solid foundation to build the future.
I want to be remembered forever. And in order for that to happen, I realized I need to act like it. Because being an average human being, being a sheep like the rest, isn't going to get me there. This is something you all need to understand. If you want to be the best in whatever you do, you got to start acting different than everybody else. If you want the nicest car, if you want to live in the nicest neighborhood, if you want the nicest clothes, the nicest jewelry, the nicest partner, the best of everything comes with a price. It comes from grinding through those late nights. It comes from grinding through those early mornings. It comes from those exhausting days where every fiber of your body is telling you to give up.
No one is going to jump in there with you and celebrate that death that you just experienced. Yes, I know it may sound a little harsh. In fact, it may even scare you, but you can't fake this. You can't hide from this. Life is short. And the only thing that's beautiful about it is that when you're living, you have strong possibilities. You have something that you can be doing to make it impactful for others to see. You can't stop. You can't stop living. You can't stop growing. You can't stop fighting. You have to understand that yesterday and today and tomorrow,
You've lost everything. Have everything you need. Resiliency says I tried and I failed. Resiliency has its own mentality. The program of resiliency says I tried and I failed. I tried and I failed. I tried and I failed. I tried and I failed again. I must start again and I'm not. Waiting till Monday, I'm going to start right now. I tried again and again and I succeeded. Remove yourself from the list of people that have disappointed you, that have lied to you, that have let you down. You are number one on that list. Remove yourself. The real you is breathing down your neck, begging you to manifest. Stop lying to yourself.
If you want to separate yourself from other people in the world, you got to start acting differently. And it starts with taking responsibility for your life. You see, every day you are presented with two paths. One path leads to your true potential. It leads to that first class ticket. It leads to that fancy car. It leads to that fancy house. It leads to those dreams you have every single night when you close your eyes. And the other path is you staying the same. You see, most of you are stuck on the path of staying the same because you don't understand how to take responsibility for what is happening in your life. It's not that you don't want everything that comes with the path that leads to your true potential, but you are too hung up on blaming the past and the present. You are too hung up on blaming your mom for how she treated you when you were younger.
Are in 3 different universes. And the only universe you exist in right now is the now, is this moment, is this reality. You can't fix anything that's already been broken. Some things can mend in time, and some things are better off left alone. There are a lot of negative people right now that exist in this world. And there are people that are going to watch this video. There are people that are watching this video right now. There are people that are listening to this message right now. And yet, they'll still find something that is not making them.
Stop letting you down. You got to kill the blame game. Stop blaming it on the person that walked out on you. Stop blaming it on the person that overlooked you. Stop blaming it on the person that undervalued you. Stop blaming it on the person that did not promote you, that did not see it, that did not believe it. Stop blaming everybody and look yourself in the mirror. It's your fault. You failed. You started the year with a little motivation and a few ideas, and it all tanked before February. And the thing you gotta ask yourself is, am I going to repeat my history or will I blaze a new trail? Because history for many of you is insecurity. History for many of you is depression and anxiety.